much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, all right. Please have your seat. Now, can you just engage the next person down to you? What is the lesson from China? Just 1 minute. I'll move to the next lecture, the last lecture. I have only 2 minutes to start the next slide. For those who like toilet, check your head system and eat well. Okay. Well, go on. Live. Okay, this is the last paper for the day. Are we set? Okay, today we're going to look at those issues. We're waiting for our colleagues to come back for these few minutes. But for those of you in the class, let me bounce this by you. What is it that you brought? What is it that the China message tells you?
Yes, the message from China is the fact that we can learn a lot as a corporate and also as a country. Take the case of G, for instance. You are talking of China as an emerging market. It's a market where cost of production is low, and as such, there is economies of scale. Nigeria also can replicate the same because innovation.
Yes.
Innovation.
Yes. Nike, where are you taking home?
Human resources development.
Yes. So what are you taking home? MD Nike Luxury.
Innovation.
Yes, VC, what are you taking home?
Innovation and strong capacity building.
Strong capacity building for sustainers. Yes, MD Global Fleet, what are you taking home?
Innovation and human capability.
Human capability. Who is taking something home different from innovation? Yes.
Strategy.
I want to have a strategy, yes. Miro, what are you taking home to pay your salary?
Innovation.
Okay, innovate to pay salary. But you're only them about 4 months, so go and pay them. Yes. Record property, what are you taking home?
Research and development.
R&D. I'm going home with R&D. From there, I can get innovation, I can get other things. Dr. Idowu from University of Ife, what are you taking home?
Environmental sustainability.
Vice President, what are you taking home?
Maximum use of our assets.
Asset specificity, I'm taking home. Yes. Who's taking anything home different from that? Yes. Samson, what are you taking home?
Value.
Shared value. Cultural value.
Can do spirit.
China can do how we do. Yes. Ayo.
I think it's more of determination to get it right.
Determination. Your stomach is coming up here. Your staff are complaining about their salaries. Determination. That's a good one. Yes. But ladies, what are you taking home? Yes.
Also, I think China, they have intrinsic motivation. It's not about the salary.
Okay. I'm taking home motivation. Yes. Yes. What are you taking home?
Internalization of assets.
Asset specificity. I'm taking home. Yes. Skills. Yes. This watch.
I'm taking home all the 7S.
All the 7S. So you are hereby appointed as the new MD of This Watch Magazines Limited. Yeah, he's taking home all the heads so that he can go and do them. So let him replace the MD there so that he can do a better job. Yes, who is taking something home again? And don't worry, I will support you, but I will support you only for 5 months. After 5 months, you're going to do it yourself. Yes. William, right?
Long-term planning.
Long-time planning. I'm going to plan for a long time like China. From 1740 to the present day. That's quite a long, incredible planning. So I'm going to take that home. Yes. Energy bank lady, what are you taking home? Okay, you.
I'm taking home that when you need to succeed, you have to put the 7 S in place.
Fantastic. 7X in place, yes.
I'm taking home strategy.
I'm taking home strategy. Yes. What I call MD, what are you taking home?
Taking home shared values and structure.
Structure, good. Yes. Energy Bank Ghana, what are you taking home?
I'm taking home all the 7S, which is going to help improve the bank and even my personal life.
That's good. Thank you very much. I'm taking the S, the 7X, so that I can increase my personal life and the value of the company. Yes, Nigerian AMD, what are you taking home?
Optimal utilization of our assets.
The insurance is taking home the same thing. Do you notice that? So they are victim of the fact that I'm surprised Nikon will be asking you that question. Carrie will be asking you how much you internalize your asset. So it's good for you to take that home. Yes.
I'm taking home that for you to succeed, cooperation is about sustainability and not democracy.
I think that one will give you a price of a chocolate. The MD of Nigeria is saying, why am I doing that? Take your choice of the color of the chocolate that you like out of this chocolate. Take one. Good. She's taking home that cooperation is not democracy. Isn't that amazing? And you're going to do your democracy within your party level, not in a corporation environment that you do democracy. That's amazing. So that's what you want to take home, and that's good enough. Now, paper 2, which is the last paper for today. We'll be talking about strategy. Now we are going inside, deep inside. What is strategy? What is the strategy that I have to do? Now, this paper is fairly technical and is to make you to be expert in that field. So it requires you to be attentive. Just right now, the area you want. Again, the paper will be on the website of the University of Sao Tome, Premier University of Sao Tome. You can download it. I will not finish the slide today for what it is. I will just try if I can finish it. It's 120 slides, and it's a paper that took me 2 years to present, to prepare, so it's a lot. So I will only take brief introduction. I promise you in Kenya, we will take this paper for a whole day, so that you can really understand it much, much better. So let's take it, strategy of sustainable competitive advantage, and then of course, a leadership paradox or a dilemma. Now, there are lots of paradoxical paradox, that comes around about the challenges of the capability of a leader to actually come to run a sustainable strategy. I guess your concern today and your worry is that if you have a strategy, you want that strategy to be sustainable, isn't it? Yeah. So if it must be sustainable strategy, then you also want at the same time, you want to understand that a sustainable leadership strategy requires unquestionable leadership. The success of an organization or its strategy depends on the leadership. So the paradox here is the challenges and the dilemma that the leader will face in time of running a strategy that will make the organization to be successful. I will only wish you best of luck with this paper because it's had the capacity actually to make you to become an expert in time of comparative strategy and the advantages that you come about. Now we move on, and then we say here the basic knowledge of ABC of PAND or strategy. Strategy can make organization to cry. Strategy can make organization to cry. Strategy can also make organization to have joy and to be passed from generation to generation to generation to generation. Where a company fails, it will be traceable to the strategy or the capability of the leader. Where a company is weeping like the child on the strategy slides, is also an issue of strategy. Now, we can also use strategy to stop the weeping child from crying. I don't know the position of your company as of this morning. Are you the weeping company? or you have a dry fish, or you have a smiling company. I know some of our company here had made 150% of the profit outside Nigeria. Where we get them to make $10 million, they probably make $20 million. Where we tell them to make 5, they make 20. So, but there are some companies also in Nigeria who also had made no profit, no loss. They're just there. There are some companies too that have made loss. That is how life is. Fingers are not equal. 20 children cannot play for 20 years at the same time. They must separate. Now, I appreciate your genuine capabilities or lack of it. But the capabilities I'm going to turn to advantage right now. I know many of you said amen. When you see Bishop Oyedepo and they pray for you, you say amen. He say, my son, it is well with you. You say that you are happy, you jump off without running. It is well with you, provided your strategy is right. The bishop will not locate strategy for you. The bishop is ordained to pray for you to make things to work. It will not work if the strategy is not working. If you meet about Adeboye, they say, oh my son, my father and my God, every obstacle in your life taught to advantage. Amen. Your amen is coming from in depth of you, capable of even seizing your heart. Understand that it will work. Adeboye prayer will work, Oyedepo prayer will work, all of them will work, Jesus prayer will work, but on the condition that your strategy is right. You can't be stealing and ask and say it will be well with you. There is no prayer you can make for AFCC not to capture you. They will come after you and pick you. Whether it is Babalawo prayer or anybody's prayer. And once you see, they're going to get you and then they're going to get you arrested. And that's it. So, strategy could be a solution. Strategy could be a burden. It's a burden when it lacks capability. It's a solution when it's refined to triumph in an environment that is fantastic. I'm too sure that the reason of your gathering this afternoon is not to make your strategy to get your staff whipping. Is that the reason? No. And let me tell you good news. If we have any company in the group in which you are not paying salary, I will give you the last opportunity by supporting you financially on the condition that the MD must resign after this conference. If you have an MD here where you are not paying salary and it is huge, Mirror, don't worry, you are above this rule. So don't collapse in the room. You just came in, so you are turning it around. If you have, it's only in the media, in the whole group that we have, where they have salary challenges. And I think it's uniform to them in the industry. But we're going to help you to pay salaries after the conference, but on one condition: your MD must go. Your deputy MD must go. Is that clear? And if they are hearing me now, just resign, send your letter to my mailbox, or wait for our letter of termination. Now, having said that, we go back to the basic strategy structure. What is strategy? What is strategy? I'm going to borrow from my professor, whom I'm well pleased, and that is Alfred Chandler of 1962, who defined strategy as the determination of basic long-term goals that I told you some few minutes ago, the determination of enterprise, adoption of resources of course of action, and allocation of resources necessary for carrying out these goals. So what is the problem here with this definition? You might have a long-term goals, but you are not allocating resources to that goal. You will fail. Do you understand it now? Some companies have long-term goals, but they allocate resources to a different end. Let's take a government for instance. The monetary policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria is expected to fund the fiscal policy. That is a balanced economy, isn't it? Now, where the monetary policy is funding different things from the fiscal policy, the economy is at disequilibrium. It's not communicating, and things go haywire. If the federal government says I'm doing road or I'm supporting enterprise, central bank is supposed to give directive to the bank to lend to one enterprise. That is monetary policy helping the fiscal policy. When the federal government says, I will do road, and central bank says, don't lend money to the enterprise. Central bank monetary policy is not funding the government fiscal policy. Government will not achieve its own success, and then central bank cannot explain what they have achieved. That is disequilibrium. The same thing, when you have a strategy for a long time goals and objective, you must make sure that that strategy your funding of resources is toward that strategy. Is that clear? Yeah. Now, allocation of resources. What are resources? That's another paradox in that definition. Resources are human and materials. Money and human being. So if you have in the MD office 7 people working with the MD, SA filing, SA secretary, SA external maid, DC cleaning house, dog boy, SA in charge of dog, SA in charge of hitman. Those are resources toward the MD, not resources toward the company goals. Do you understand it? Using company resources to pursue a goal outside the specific goals of the corporation. So that's what you see there as the fair definition of strategy. And I'm sure by now when you live there, you know how to actually allocate resources towards specific goals and then in time of your time. Now, look at, I used this as a Nike position strategy the other time. Now, you see the way corporation move on the strategic line by the slides. One, you can do refined packaging. That was doing the first, when you first open a company, everybody was dressed well. Like Satome is doing now. Satome University is doing packaging, branding, promotion, expand into new domestic territories, develop new related product services, and then of course, export current product abroad. You might have reached that stage as a company whereby you want to start doing your company expanding abroad. UBA going to Ghana, going to all those, Zenith Bank going to this, our First Bank buying branches all over. That is, they've left packaging to pricing to promotion to new territory, and then of course they're expanding abroad. You may also want to think about acquiring a new company, expand internationally, or acquire a related company within your organization, or integrate vertically, acquire a supplier or a customer, or acquire a related growing industry. One of your strategies may be, for instance, you are a bank. You decide to outsource your IT. Now, that is a strategy, meaning that you don't want your IT to be seated within your company. You are a bank. You realize the best IT is FlexCube. You decide to buy FlexCube as a company. You bought a supplier of your product. Is that not? It makes your strategy to work very well. That is what that explains in terms of tangential movement of our strategic journey. Now the next thing you see there is that the issues that have to do with strategy, the key issues that feature there have to do with the quality. Now you see when we move on this strategic engagement, you remember the case study I gave you about Alibaba, isn't it? And then you saw what Alibaba did. Was it and the GE in India? Were they trying to look at the end of the market, or they are looking at luxury items? So this has to do with standard quality products. If your product is of good quality, who are you looking for as a buyer? High end. There are 3 types of buyer you have. You have the high end, the middle, and the low end. So if you decide to say, let me produce for the mass market, which is the low end, the implication again is that you are going to be confronted with costs. If you say, let me produce for the luxury clients, the implication is that you're going to be confronted with the number of customers that can buy your goods. If you decide to say, let me produce for both of them, you share your costs. So the decision is yours. Now the question to ask you strategically this afternoon or morning is, who is your product addressing? Nikon, Nigeria Rail, Energy Bank, Sao Tome, Private University. Who is your product addressing? Mirror. Who are you publishing Mirror for? Common man or the end market? That must be resolved. If it's common man, how many people are doing the same thing for common man in Nigeria? So if you publish for common man, what does the Punch publish for? What does the Guardian publish for? The Guardian market is meant for end markets, not mass markets. So you don't expect the Guardian to do 1,000 or 200,000 copies of the Guardian every day if there are no 100,000 people at the high end of the market, because the Guardian is not producing for Oshodi or Agege. Do you understand this? The Guardian has designed their market from the one that they enter into the market. Once you decide your market, you focus on your market. You don't see the Guardian jumping from the high-end market and coming to the mass market in Agege, because suddenly to Guardian, Agege become attractive. That is not strategy. That is strategy collapse. Strategy misnomer. When you decide whom you want to focus on, you focus on them. You have to tell why the bank says one branch for rich people, another branch for poor people, and all sorts of things like that. The first bank have decided their market as a mass market from the day they started their operation, and they have about 1,000 branches in Nigeria. They see reason go to the mass market to go and get money. But the question here is that you collect money from the mass market and then use it to fund the end market in time of loan. These are challenges. When you go to Kenya, we will resolve this paradox. I promise you will resolve them. When you start off a church as a bishop or whatever you may be, which market are you setting up your church for? Your church for the rich? Or is it for the poor? The Redeemer is very clear about the fact that they are operating mass market in preaching the scripture to the poor in the remotest of all the villages. And Adeboye dresses like a poor man. When it's not a poor man, but he dresses like a poor man, just to dress alongside with them. That is the style we talk about in China, the S. Does that occur to you? You can't say you are fighting for the poor people when you are gorgeously dressed, and your wristwatch is customized to you. Some wristwatch are made with your own blood and they only work with your blood alone. Your airplane is customized to you. Yes, you are a mass market person. With the mass market accept that you are part of them. Your branch is gorgeous as a bank. When you enter there, everything is there. Air conditioning, plumbing, food, everything. Talk about it. It's smelling as if you are a Sheraton or Hilton or Nikon Luxury. Yet it's a common man brand. Is that true? You want to cascade strategy, you must be able to understand that there is no mismatch when you talk about strategic engagement. So the first point you put out there is that there should be no mismatch in strategic engagement. Strategy there must be alignment of strategy as opposed to mismatch. Now, the next thing you look at there is the issue of positioning and pricing. That is a war. So if you charge 1 naira, the other person charge 50 kobo, you come down to 50 kobo, the other one charge 40 kobo. Now let me explain this as it relates to China. There is nothing you can produce today. China only need to see it. They will duplicate it and reproduce it for half price. Will you still be in market? Let's take the telephone as an example. In China, telephone is reformed every Friday. New edition of China telephone comes out every. But your Galaxy, your Samsung, as well as your Apple comes out once a year or twice a year, isn't it? America owns Apple. Which country that owns Apple? America. So America is able to do R&D and develop R&D to be able to bring out a new iPhone once every 1 year or so, whereas every new phone is brought out every Friday in China. Who is the innovation? Now, if we are going to be bringing out the product every Friday, and another guy is going to be bringing out the product every once a year, then who's going to be in the market? Who will kill who? That's why we say innovation is very, very, very important. I think one of the problems of MDs is the fact that they are not thinking innovation. They are not attending courses on innovation. They are not challenged to see that their existence is a subject of continuous innovation. Innovation should be destructive. We call what we call destructive innovation. I showed you yesterday. It's the S curve. Got something like this? Now, this is the invention of your program, of your projects. At this stage that you started introducing insurance products, everybody is happy. You are making money. Company is going. Look at this. At price 1, for instance, quality demanded is going up. Everything is fine. You are going up. You are going there. Then this is invention stage. After invention stage, the innovation will reach maximum, which is optimal. This is the optimal stage. The slide back. This is the maximum point of your innovation. The slide back, right? And then of course, when it slide back, it means that product is no longer in demand any longer. Then another invention might slide back to even 0, where for everything you produce, nobody to buy it. You get it now? And when that happens, another invention will start again. And will be spent again. And slide back and go on. So we say this is an S-curve. 1, my industry. Whether I can partner with people to do it, whether I won't bear the cost alone. Why do I look at whether it's my firm, whether there's an advantage I can keep in it? Why do I know whether it's the system that I'm innovating for? Whether it will be demanded by the system or the system doesn't need it? How many of you are using Nokia? Raise up your hand if you are using Nokia. 1 Nokia customer. 2. If you are using Samsung, raise up your hand. Samsung. This table number. If you are using Apple, raise up your hand. Apple. Samsung have the class. Fantastic. Go for Samsung. Isn't that amazing? You can see a small survey will show to you that nobody in this class wants Apple or wants Nokia. Only 2 people. If Nokia is still manufacturing for Nigeria elites, they will be wasting their time. That product is not in demand. If Samsung, you can see the survey of this class today, what comes to Samsung mind? They need to do more innovation and attract the Nigerian market because the demand is growing. If Apple did this survey, what would be the solution to Apple is to say, oh, we are not very strong in the Nigerian market, but we could be strong. Isn't it? That's exactly what take us to the next slide, which is cost advantage and demand advantage. What cost am I using to run this process? Who wants it? If I introduce insurance products, at what cost? If you don't even ask that one, NICOM will ask you, at what cost are you doing this to the market? Who wants it? Those are 2 things that when NICOM say, bring your product for approval, they also want to attach with your product a survey of the cost of how much you're going to spend and what is the demand of this product. If your micro insurance is not in demand, why do you have to do it? If you want to see to it, the regulator may stop you and say, no, this is not in demand. So every strategy must lead to what? Cost advantage or demand advantage. Are we clear? So the question to take home here is my strategy of cost advantage or demand advantage? That's what you need to really take home there. And that is very key. Now, strategy of cost advantage is better explained, by cutting costs. You know what you mean by which way do I go? Do I go through cost advantage? Do I go through demand strategy? What is cost strategy? Cost strategy is about bringing down the cost. You'll be competitive. You have competitive advantage. You produce the same products at a reasonable cost more than your competitors. Is that not? This is a function of supply chain. Is that not? So you see companies that can do this very well, and then they will really be in the market. Those of you who want to be a cost leader, you have to do business reengineering, cut down people you don't want. Outsourcing some activities is not everything that you need to have in your company. You can outsource your computer, your R&D, your IT system. You can also locate production in low markets.